Here is the original sound. Why did Koba betray his savior? For those who have seen the Planet of the Apes series, most agree the first movie was the peak. The second one was a decline. And later entries got progressively worse. But I think the second film is actually the true masterpiece, even surpassing the first one. Many only see Koba's betrayal, without truly understanding Koba himself, or judging who was right between him and Caesar. Join me today to revisit this classic, and you'll gain a fresh perspective. In the first film, Caesar led the apes back to nature, but the simian flu outbreak kept humans preoccupied. Over 10 years, the human population dropped by 80%, giving apes breathing room. They built their home in the mountains. Under Caesar's leadership, their clans steadily grew. Caesar had a son named Ash, but his father's legacy overshadowed him. During his rebellious phase, Ash often acted impatient and reckless, eager to prove himself. During a hunt one day, Caesar spotted a footprint on a tree trunk, signaling they should be cautious. But Ash thought his father was being too careful. He ignored orders, determined to show off his skills. Suddenly, Brown Bear burst from the shadows, pinning Ash down. Caesar immediately leapt into action, rescuing Ash before he got hurt. Caesar urgently called for backup. Hearing the shout, Koba dashed through the woods, charged down from the hilltop, pierced the brown bear with his sword, pulling father and son back from death's edge. Caesar did not blame Blue, but told him to think more carefully. But Blue felt no gratitude, still believing that without his father, that bear could not have harmed him. Over the years, Caesar built their own civilization and order, not only constructing homes, but having Koba, the scholar, create a school to teach. Teacher, the ape leader subdued in the sanctuary years ago, now became one of Caesar's top 3 lieutenants, called Rocket. The other two were Koba and Caesar's wife Cornelia. Caesar sighed at time's swift passage, wondering if his human caretaker still lived. They had seen no humans for several years. Right on cue. That day, Blue Eyes and Rocket's son Ash encountered a human on their way home. Then a gunshot rang out, shattering years of peace. What should we do when the others arrive? Many apes soon arrived at the scene. Rocket saw humans had hurt his son, begged Caesar for vengeance. He says, "Take him away." Malcolm realized these apes were extraordinary. So, he immediately declared his stance, claiming no hostile intent, just strayed here by accident. Caesar saw Ash was not mortally wounded, and wished to preserve the hard-won peace with humans. So, Caesar roared, "Go!" The classic ape deterrent reaction, making them run for their lives. He didn't even dare to avoid Caesar with the discarded backpack. It was not pure mercy. Afterward, he immediately sent Koba to track the humans and uncover their purpose. This also clearly shows that in Caesar's view, both in ability and trustworthiness, Koba is beyond doubt. But how did Koba step by step walk the path of betrayal? Let us continue watching. Affected by the simian flu, humans struggle to survive. So survivors often band together for warmth. Koba tracks and finds one of the human outposts. He reports this discovery to the others, repeatedly emphasizing the human threat, believing they should strike while humans are weak, wipe them out completely, using Ash's injury as persuasion, trying to convince Rocket. Rocket states, he fully obeys. Amidst the heated discussion, Caesar makes a decision. Caesar believes that regardless of victory or defeat, many will surely die. He does not want their hard-won home shattered. Caesar speaks. Koba naturally complies. But Koba, once locked in a human lab and abused, feels no kindness from them. He tells Caesar the origins of his scars. Caesar feels deeply for Koba, so promises to warn the humans, to deter them from invading again. The next day, Caesar leads the ape army to the human territory with grandeur. Humans see ape warriors on majestic horses for the first time. Clearly, they are disciplined, highly trained. He shouts, "We do not want war." Caesar's speaking voice further shocks the humans. He clearly states apes and humans must not invade each other. Set clear boundaries. But if humans want war, we'll fight with full force. Blue manages the monkey pack with both persuasion and force, ordering no trespassing. Yet Koba truly cares for the apes. His hatred isn't personal, but the threatened humans panic. They fear renewed conflict with apes, and face critical shortages of power and supplies. Soon, they'll lose outside contact. Only fixing the mountain hydropower plant works, which lies in ape territory. The leader prepares for war against the apes. Their arsenal suffices. But Malcolm knows these apes. He believes peace remains possible. So they make dual plans. If Malcolm's talks fail, war begins immediately. Human intrusion again enrages Koba, but he respects Caesar's authority. Learning the situation, Caesar was troubled. He knows humans need power. If cornered completely, they'll fight desperately. Despite Koba and Blue's objections, he accepts Malcolm's negotiation terms. Just one condition: no weapons allowed. Leave immediately after repairs. 2 weeks later, both sides tentatively seek peaceful coexistence. Yet, this incident fuels Koba's deep doubts. He challenges Caesar. With power, humans grow more dangerous. Why endanger the apes? Caesar felt his authority challenged by Koba's persistent questioning. He rose with an imposing stance to express dissatisfaction. When Koba noticed Caesar was angry, he immediately bowed, showing submissiveness. But from that moment on, gradual shifts began occurring within his mind. This fundamental difference in thought made him question Caesar's decisions. Meanwhile, mistrustful humans also distrusted the apes. Simian flu had caused human suffering, loss of loved ones, and displacement. The man believed they should exterminate all apes. But Emily pointed out the simian flu didn't originate from apes. Thus, viruses emerged from human experiments on apes. Therefore, humans had only themselves to blame. Originally, the apes were the victims. How could humans have the right to condemn them? The next day, Koba worried. Human decisions would lead the ape colony to utter ruin. Thus, Koba took trusted followers to scout the human camp, a necessary act. He found humans taking stock of weapons and ammo, clearly preparing for war. Venturing deeper, he saw an armory holding enough to obliterate the ape home. Koba failed to notice 2 guards approaching behind him. Thinking fast, he used his best act and bumped into a gun muzzle. Then, pretending to lack higher intelligence, he performed a comical dance. Guards thought a wild monkey strayed in, and shouted at him to leave. Meanwhile, Caesar led trusted apes and his son to inspect the dam prison. His playful little son jumped off the horse, interacting curiously with humans. This seemed a potential turning point for ape-human friendship. But a playful little monkey accidentally uncovered Derek's hidden gun. Instantly, tension escalated dramatically. Derek grabbed the weapon and aimed it at them. At this critical moment, Caesar intervened and defused the deadly crisis. But he knew this action would inevitably ignite war between humans and apes. After Malcolm repeatedly begged, he still did not strike. But wielding the gun clearly violated their earlier agreement. Enraged, Caesar immediately ordered his banishment. When Malcolm, unwilling to give up, chased after to negotiate again, he saw Caesar's wife critically ill from postpartum infection. He immediately told Emily to use her antibiotics to help treat it. This gesture significantly softened Caesar's rigid attitude. He resisted Blue's protest. Agreed. To show goodwill, he allowed them to stay 1 extra day. Malcolm promptly confined Derek, his loose cannon, locked in the car. Seeing this, Caesar also commanded the apes to help finish repairing the hydropower station quickly. Hello, call it quits. But then, Koba, who barely escaped the human base, rushed back frantically. In the emergency, Koba reported humans were preparing for war. But the sight unfolding before him made him roar in fury. What am I? Until he challenged vocally word by word. Caesar declared, he loves humans more than the ape kind. Caesar felt his authority was deeply insulted. So he pinned Koba down and pummeled him violently in rage. But he still held on to his last shred of reason. The core rule he taught apes is that apes do not kill apes. From that point on, Koba was completely disillusioned with Caesar. Clearly, he believed Caesar's closeness to humans would lead the ape clan to utter doom. That being the case, he himself would lead the apes toward survival. He trusted his apes wouldn't reveal the human weapons news to Caesar. This included Caesar's own son Blue Eyes. Then, he launched his attack plan. Next day, he sneaked into the human armory again, giving another masterful performance, making two guards laugh heartily. Just as the humans found the ape amusing, and lowered their guard, Koba seized the chance, grabbed their firearms and killed them, then returned to base with the guns. His first target was malicious Derek. Meanwhile, with Caesar's assistance, Malcolm fixed the hydroplant while Caesar's wife recovered gradually, thinking all was well. As they watched the distant peace signal lights begin glowing softly, Koba secretly ordered his followers to ignite war, then moved behind Caesar with a gun. Confusion crossed Caesar's face. Before he experienced the unthinkable shot, he tumbled down the mountain. Gunfire echoed in the valley. Blue Eyes rushed to the scene, only finding the abandoned gun on a tree. Then, Koba burst from the ape crowd, waved the gun claiming humans killed Caesar, then blamed the burning home's destruction on mankind. Such clumsy lies. This could deceive ordinary apes, but not the shrewd Red. He decisively ordered Malcolm and his group to evacuate immediately. Koba kept inciting the ape troop, then commanded elders and juveniles to hold the fort, while deploying all fit apes for combat. Meanwhile, the humans at the base still believed relations were improving. Completely unaware of the approaching crisis, Koba moved swiftly, having already planned the ambush, striking while humans were unprepared, seizing the stronghold within minutes, gaining full control of military zones. Then he led armed forces against David, fueled by mounted machine guns and vengeance for Caesar. The apes became hyper-aggressive, fiercely unstoppable, especially Koba, who unleashed years of pent-up hatred, pounding human defenders into hiding. The battle turned brutal. No matter their ferocity, casualties mounted. Witnessing countless comrades fall to artillery, some gradually understood Caesar's reluctance for war. Now, Koba stormed into the inferno, his soldiers charging back to the front, one warrior holding the line, 1,000 foes in flames, single-handedly suppressing all enemy fire. But humans launched an RPG into the fray, igniting an ocean of fire that engulfed apes instantly. Seeing flames block their path, Koba redirected troops. He climbs over the road, but intense gunfire knocks him down. Koba's arm smashes into oil barrels. The next moment, Koba charges through the flames. Just when he thinks victory is certain, sudden blast stuns him completely. He turns to see humans have arrived. Koba reacts, immediately unleashing a barrage of bullets. Moving with agility, he leaps onto a tank, quickly seizing the weapon, though he can't operate it. After wildly spraying fire, he breaks through the human encirclement. Then he crashes forward, shattering the human's final defensive line. Seeing the situation, humans scatter, fleeing toward higher ground. An old man tries protecting his wife desperately, but Koba overpowers him instantly. Koba orders Ash to kill them, but Ash voices objection, saying Caesar wouldn't allow this. This enrages Koba. He drags Ash up a tower, and flings him to his death. This act horrifies the entire ape colony. Soon, apes fully occupy the base. Koba uses methods once used on apes, making humans experience captivity, and orders all escapees hunted. Apes loyal to Caesar are captured, becoming prisoners. Only obedient Blue remains free. Meanwhile, the others escaped. Malcolm accidentally discovered Caesar's body. After closer inspection, he found Caesar barely clinging to life. The group learned about the coup within the ape colony. Caesar had already anticipated Koba's actions. Following Caesar's guidance, they infiltrated the city, into an old dilapidated building, the familiar sanctuary. This was where Caesar grew up, but Caesar's injuries were too severe. He needed immediate surgery to remove the bullet and blood clots, but the surgical tools were at the base. Malcolm decided to return alone to retrieve the equipment. After all, right now, Caesar was their only hope to turn the tide. Malcolm barely retrieved the tools through a hidden path, but encountered patrols on his return. avoiding pursuit. He met Caesar's son Blue Eyes. Having witnessed war's brutality, Blue Eyes grew weary of killing. Now, he finally understood his father's struggle. Seeing no aggression, no intent to harm, Malcolm revealed that Caesar was alive. Father and son reunited in the old house, clearing all misunderstandings. Blue Eyes informed Caesar about Koba's brutality toward apes. Caesar said, he always believed apes differed from humans, thus granting absolute trust. But his single misjudgment made him regroup. To stop Koba, though surgery saved Caesar's life, he remained critically weak. Caesar sent Blue Eyes to rescue loyal followers, while freeing imprisoned humans amid chaos, creating confusion for Koba, buying themselves more time. At this point, Caesar finally reunites with Maurice. Now, Koba must be outside, spreading propaganda. Malcolm leads them to the base through subway tunnels. Unexpectedly, surviving humans have occupied this area. Malcolm shows Caesar the escape route, staying behind to stall the humans. Surprisingly, the survivors planted explosives throughout. Detonation would collapse the entire base. Now, many apes would surely die. Malcolm wrestles with the decision: detonate the explosives, or trust Caesar to resolve the situation. Despite his injuries, Caesar climbs onto the high platform. When they meet again, humans only align with the strongest power. Only true strength earns their respect. Koba drops his weapon to face Caesar directly. Still badly hurt, Caesar remains on the defensive. But his combat experience counters this disadvantage. Knocked down, Caesar drags Koba with him. Koba suffers a serious abdominal wound, sending him into a rage. Grabbing a nearby pole, he attacks Caesar savagely, accusing Caesar of valuing humans above apes. Seeing Koba beyond reason, Caesar knew their bond was irreparably broken. Showing no further mercy, he strikes decisively, dealing Koba a critical blow. Unexpectedly, even in this condition, Caesar, he couldn't even match the opponent himself. Enraged, he shoved the metal scaffolding toward Caesar, causing the high platform to collapse. Both grabbed onto the chains, continuing their battle midair. Meanwhile, Malcolm had reached a decision. He resolved to give Caesar a chance regardless. For peace between humans and apes rested in Caesar's hands. He aimed his weapon beside the cage fortress. Unable to grasp his action, they informed him troops from other bases were coming. Here humans and apes must fight to the death. He firmly sided with humanity again. So, he detonated the bomb. Cage fortress pipes exploded violently, interrupting the duel between the two leaders. Simultaneously, the entire base began collapsing downward. Caught unprepared, apes suffered heavy casualties. Caesar abandoned combat, focused solely on cage rescue. Koba was overcome by anger. Reason abandoned rules. He just wanted Caesar dead. Seeing Caesar's loyal followers, he snapped, began firing indiscriminately. Caesar lunged furiously from the side. This slammed Koba to the deadly edge. His abdominal wound drained his strength. Koba knew the game was up. Seeing Caesar above, he mocked Caesar's cherished rule again. Ape no kill human. Caesar burned with fury. But seeing countless fallen comrades around him, he killed his once brother with his own hands. Once, Koba was Caesar's most loyal follower. Once when attacked by a grizzly bear, Caesar hesitated not a single moment, even risked his life. This led to the apes stepping up to protect their leader. Actually, isn't he being dismissive? Truthfully, brothers act together through thick and thin. Expect status in Caesar's heart. Actually, many details in the film reveal this. Whenever apes charged into battle, Koba was always first on the front lines. He led the charge before the split with Caesar. Their rift stemmed from different experiences. Caesar grew up under human care. From childhood, Koba experienced the complete opposite. After enduring abuse, human presence and Caesar's attitude pushed Koba toward desperation step by step. Some say Koba wasn't wrong. The mistake was killing his own kind. Understandably, compared to human rulers changing dynasties throughout history, Koba was relatively merciful. Caesar's followers faced mere imprisonment under Koba's rule. When Gray openly opposed Koba, then He became the perfect example to make. He failed at crucial moments. Could never have united the ape clans? Very likely. The apes would have split into factions. War had already begun. Without unity, only death awaited them. Every move he made revealed Koba's intellect matching Caesar's. Seemed like a brute, but every action carried careful calculation. Others argue Caesar's mercy unfit him to rule. Believe his strategic vision was exceptional. Amid the emotional struggles between humans and apes, humankind is at the end of their rope, while the apes are still in primitive tribes, needing considerable time to develop, before the declining side can still surpass the other in strength. An ancient saying holds true. Thus, starting a war with humans now is an extremely unwise choice. This is why Caesar consistently makes the optimal decisions in the film. As he told Malcolm in the end, once it begins, there is no turning back. Since the apes have started this war, humankind certainly won't let it go. This will be a ceaseless conflict, until one side is utterly destroyed. That's why he avoids provoking war lightly. Though humans and apes once shared life and death experiences, their inherent differences as species seal their fate. Caesar reclaims his throne, and now faces an unprecedented, brutal fight ahead. Views on this